Hello everyone, my name's David. I'm a care leaver within South Gloucestershire. I'm 24 years old, and today I'd like to tell you a little bit about myself, what it is I do, and share my experiences so I can help you all learn and grow in what you do. So, at the age of 9 years old, I came into foster care and didn't leave until I was 18 years old. But during that time where I was in foster care, I was able to volunteer with South Gloucestershire Council as part of a group called EPIC. EPIC stands for the Experienced Panel in Care, and this was a group made up of about 10 to 15 of us who were all in foster care with each other at that time in various different placements around the county. And we would meet up every other week with South Gloucestershire Council and come up with thoughts and ideas to put together into projects to try and help improve the care system, not just for ourselves, but everyone else within the county that was also in foster care. And through this experience, I managed to not just teach myself new skills and life hacks for living independently, but it also landed me the job that I'm in now, which is a young ambassador for South Gloucestershire Council. So as a young ambassador, my main role and responsibility is to make sure that young people are seen and that their voices are heard across all levels of the council, whether that's doing project work directly with young people, conducting surveys to find out what young people are thinking and feeling, or doing more behind the scenes work by auditing various records of contact from personal advisors and social workers. Either way, I am making sure that their voices are being seen, their feelings are being acknowledged, and I'm making sure that the system is improving day by day. So this actually leads me on to my next point, which is that me and my colleague, who is also another young ambassador, we have been doing a project behind the scenes where we have been auditing various records of contact conducted by personal advisors on their young people when they've gone to visit them. And through those records of contact that we analysed, there is a common theme between every single one, and that is that there aren't enough why questions being asked as to why a young person feels the way they do, or why they acted the way they did, or why they said a certain thing. I think it's very important that we ask more why questions, because care leavers aren't recognised enough for the experience they've been through, and as a result, it makes them feel unacknowledged and not cared for in the right way that they need to. I can speak from personal experience here when I say that, because I've got a few experiences that I will share with you shortly that I've been through myself that prove this. The term care leaver isn't often acknowledged enough, and a lot of people still don't know what it means. Luckily, quite recently, in fact, the term care leaver was made a protected characteristic, just like there are other protected characteristics such as gender, ethnicity, religion. Care leaver is now one of them, but it's still not being recognised enough. And one of the places that this will play out quite a bit is in healthcare, whether a care leaver is going to the doctors or a hospital for a procedure, or just generally within the healthcare community. Foster care experienced people aren't recognised enough. So at this point, you might be thinking, David, how do feelings and being recognised as a care leaver link in with each other? This is where I'm going to share one of my personal experiences. When I was 9 years old, one of the main reasons I went into foster care was that I got stabbed. And as a result, you can imagine I got put in hospital and prodded with quite a few needles, to say the least. And I luckily made a full recovery, physically speaking. Psychologically, however, it was a different story. Through the years I grew up in foster care, because the term foster care experienced person or care leaver wasn't recognised enough, I didn't receive the correct help that I actually needed. And this brings me on to one experience I had a few years ago, where it was July 2022. It was the peak of the heat wave we were having, and just by pure luck, I managed to get a kidney infection from dehydration. And so I obviously had to go to the doctors, get some antibiotics, but as well as this, I had to have some blood tests done. And I told the doctors at the time that I had quite a fear of needles due to my experience. And I told them that I'm a care leaver, to which they responded, "I'm sorry, I've never heard of that. What's a care leaver?" And at this point, you can imagine the fear that was already running through me, but then to hear that they didn't know what a care leaver was kind of meant to me that they're not going to look after me in the best way that I need them to. They didn't know anything about the trauma I'd been through. They didn't know about any of my experience in foster care. And they sort of shrugged me off as, one person out of thousands that had a phobia of needles. I got through the blood test and I was fine, but you can imagine that post-traumatic stress set in and I was quite erratic and I was quite scared. And yeah, to have this not recognized was quite a big deal to me. And it would be to any other person that's been through, not just the experience I've been through, but anyone that's been in foster care or have been through some kind of trauma. Not only was it a fear of needles, though, after having gone through what I'd been through in hospital at the age of 9, I lost a kidney due to my injuries. So the fear of potentially having something wrong with my only one good working kidney was also another aspect of it. And again, this wasn't recognized. Those are just a few experiences that I've had personally. But if you're meeting anyone in general, particularly young people, asking if they're care experienced is very vital, I believe, because if they turn around and say, yes, I am, it's understandable that they're going to have some different needs to the average person. And it's very crucial that those needs are understood and met as best as possible. This is why the term care leaver is now a protected characteristic. And also as well, this is why those why questions are important and crucial, because it allows us to understand more and get closer to a solution to pretty much any problem. So in general, if we take more time and preparation before meeting a care experienced young person to understand why they are who they are, and we ask those why questions, then I believe that they'll have a better experience. So after hearing a little bit about me and my story, have a think about what you might do differently the next time you come across a care leaver.